Hi, it's Wasabi. Welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be on the new arcade mode that has come out on July the 15th. We'll go over the overall mode and then we'll look at the current version of it. There are going to be 3 versions of it, and we'll show some gameplay for the current mode. All right, so Arcade Cabinet is the name of the versions. It is basically going to change the way the game plays with changes to the way the characteristics of tanks and RNG and so on. But each cabinet version is going to be based on a different way of changing the battle. So it could be seen as a way for Wargaming to test changes to the game, but we can't really draw any inferences for it for the moment, but not until it gets into sort of test mode. Okay, so first of all, arcade, what does that mean? That just means that they make the rules about how things change, and you just have to learn how the rules work. That's sort of a bit how the game works today. It's always called the game an arcade mode versus a simulator. Simulators are where you try and get complete sort of comparison to the real tanks, but we'll see how this changes. All right, so there is an article here. We'll put the links in the description so you can have a closer read. And there's a video there you can watch, but we're just going to go over a quick overview of this one and then look at more at the first one, which is called Railgun. So first of all, how to find it. Same way that you get access to random battles versus training rooms versus that. So next to the battle button, and that'll bring up the different options. And the first one, Railgun, we won't cover the details right here. We'll get to the next page, which will cover Railgun particularly. But firstly, it only runs for 3 days, so July 15th to July 18th from 1 p.m. at UTC 8, so that's 3 p.m. Australian time, Australian Eastern Time, to July 18th at 0400, which is 0600 in Australian Eastern Time. So this will change basically the gun characteristics. So removing gun bloom fundamentally, so that your aim time is just basically as soon as your gun is loaded, you'll be aimed no matter what. And so whether you're changing the hull, rotating the turrets, or moving your gun around, and when you're on the move, you won't really have any extra dispersion. The aim time is reduced also, and there's no hiding. So proximity spotting range is the maximum view range. So everything will be inside. So not so good for TDs and light tanks. They won't be invisible anymore. No camo. You'll basically see everything on the map as if it, like a duck shoot game, and you'll be able to shoot. And the other thing is the engine power is increased by 100%. So it'll make slower tanks more mobile. You can see there's no changes to things like load time on the guns, etc. So we'll cover that a bit more as we get to the next thing. Then the 2 other modes, one's going to be called Element of Surprise, where basically RNG will be plus or minus 75%. So you'll be able to get more damage done or less damage depending on the way that the dice rolls, see what the effect on the game is there. We'll learn more about that for each launch, but that will be July 29th to August the 1st, and then Tranquility mode will be from August the 12th to August the 15th, and that will be a more sort of slower paced game. So we'll see how that works, but let's not stay on this page. We'll just jump to the next page and we'll talk about the current mode. So this one's called Railgun, and so that's just started today, well, yesterday by the time this video comes out, and this is about changing the characteristics of the gun and spotting. So gun dispersion at 100 meters reduced by 70%, so you get a very small gun arc. gun dispersion during movement is decreased by 50%. So as your tank is on the move, instead of the bloom that you normally get, it will be much smaller. Gun dispersion on hull traverse also decreased by 50%. So as your tank is turning, and then as the turret is turning, it will decrease by 50%. So all of the typical soft characteristics have been severely reduced. So it's as if nothing really happened. So basically, as soon as you get your gun on target, press the trigger, bang, off you go. You won't have to wait really for the aim to come in. The other major things, the two other major changes are engine power increased by 100% to give you more mobility, and spotting range from proximity is increased to the maximum 445 meters. So there is no hiding. There's no bushes that you can hide behind. So everything is inside, whether it's a TD or a light tank, heavy tank, medium tank, doesn't matter. You'll see them on the map as soon as you're in 445 meters of them. We covered how to find the arcade cabinet. Standard rules, so it'll be basically played like a random battle. It will be 15v15. The major restrictions are it's tier 8 or tier 10 only. So you'll need tier 8 or tier 10 vehicles to play, obviously. These battle results do not count towards your statistics, so no fear, you won't have any problem. Nothing will affect your current stats by doing this. You can platoon. They'll try and get 15 by 15, but of course, if there are not enough tanks in queue, they will, particularly on the Asia server, they'll reduce the number of tanks if needed. It'll still be matchmaking by vehicle type, same way as a standard battle, and you will earn credits and XP, same as they are in random battles. And if you're playing tier 10, you'll be able to earn bonds just like you do in standard battles. But you won't earn battle pass points. That's an interesting point of difference. It does say you can't earn bonds. Now, I'm not sure if that's 100% true, but we'll have a look at the battle results coming up. And there will be some missions for credits for tier 10 battles. That will help because of the economy of tier 10, of course, to try and convince you to play so you're not losing money when you're playing. And normal principles of fair play apply. So cheats and botting, etc. Passive play, all those sort of things will be punished the same way they are in random battles. The other major change is the limited number of maps. So it's only going to be fought on Airfield, Karelia, Mines, Muro, Proc, Siegfried Line, and Tundra. So that is pretty much all we can tell you about Railgun mode, apart from showing you the gameplay. So let's switch to that, and we'll come up with a summary at the end. Okay, so you can see at the top, arcade cabinet railgun mode. That will tell you that you're in the right battle. This is a tier 10 battle. I pulled this replay from WOTCCASIA, so just to get it in time. But you see there's all standard tier 10 tanks. So thanks to Piot202 from T-Hard Clan on the EU server. He's in the 113 Beijing Opera vehicle. And you can see the enemies starting to be spotted. You can see there's no proximity circle on the minimap. Let's just make the minimap a little bit bigger to show that. So the green or the blue outline is the 445 meter range, and red is the draw distance. So you can see as the tank moves, have a look at the gun circle. So you can see there, just here we go. Just really doesn't change in size as the tank is moving or the turret is rotating. So that's the effect on dispersion. Everything being reduced by 50%. And things that don't change, let's talk about that. So you can see the shell velocity doesn't change, the ammunition, your penetration doesn't change, so armor doesn't change, so you just have to basically place your shots where you know they're going to penetrate. There's no other change in this mode, it's just making your gun more accurate, and the ability to snapshot is probably the biggest change here. So as if you're playing a tank without vertical stabilizer and you suddenly add one, and all your crew skills are maxed out for snapshot, sort of that effect. Now your crew skills will still apply, Everything else is standard. It's just those changes to dispersion and the accuracy of the gun. So basically every gun is as accurate pretty much as each other. Obviously the guns with 0.4, the accuracy at 100 meters will be reduced to 0.2. The ones that were 0.24 at 100 meters, like the Gorilla 15, will be 0.12. So basically everything gets a bit more laser-like. That's the term railgun here, that everything just goes in a very straight line. But you can see shell velocity isn't changing. So if you've got a very slow shell, in this case you can see here is shell velocity is 950, he's firing heat rounds, that won't change. So you still have to lead for moving targets the same way that you would before, but it's still pretty instant in that respect. And it's more that, you know, as you lead, you're not also compensating for your slower aim time coming in. So you can see he's just aiming straight at the cupola, and he knows that it's going to go straight where he's aiming. That's pretty much the effect. So that thing about dispersion around the aim circle is what's getting reduced to, you know, pretty close to exactly where you're pointing. And that's, you know, something players have been asking for. So here's Wargaming, you know, showing you a way that you can try that out, and then potentially that's going to, you know, come to the game. Possibly, you know, it's a bit hard to tell, but I'm sure they'll take something out of the way these modes are being played and offer them up later as part of the game. But I think it's going to come down to how they're received and what sort of comments they get about them, any sort of criticism, etc. So hopefully, you know, Reese, you can put comments in the video about how you're appreciating these changes, and I'm sure, you know, we can pass these on to Wargaming. Alright, so you can see he's punishing the tanks in front of him. He's already up to 5.5k of damage, so making good use of it. But you can see he's still got the same armor that he had before. Every tank's got the same armor, so it's up to you in terms of, you know, the shells you use. But we'll see in a second, yeah, what it means on the move. Now, also you can see here the mobility of the tank. So this is a heavy tank, and he's up to 50 kilometers an hour. So obviously the engine power doesn't change your top speed, but it means you're going to get there. So you see that bat chat there, he's going to see him in a second. Snapshots, gets a shot in. Now obviously this is a good player, he's getting, you know, pretty high damage output, and snaps again, bang, there goes the bat chat. So you still have to be able to aim, you still have to be able to put your thing on target. There's that FB215B183, missed him. So yeah, you've got to get your shots pointing in the right direction, and that's, you know, still player skills involved in that part. But if you're pointing in the right direction and you pull the trigger, off we go. He snaps there towards the V4005, bang, there he goes, and he will come in and focus on that 60 TP. But you can see just the size of the aim circle, just very small. But it doesn't change as he's moving the gun around, or it just changes in a very, you know, small amount. So no problem getting the hits in if you have the ability to get your gun on target. So it's not changing the rotation speed of the turret either. It's not changing other sort of characteristics, simply the gun bloom and the proxy range. But otherwise, you know, all these tanks here, they're spotted as soon as they're on the map. 445 meters. Anyway, coming to the conclusion, here's the last tank, and goes for a bit of a ram there, but that's the end of that thing. We're going to have a quick look at the battle results just to show the economy, and then we'll do a quick summary. Okay, so here are the results from that battle, and it does indicate bonds were earned. Not sure if that's a bug in what replays, but I'm sure we'll find out a bit later as we start to play the game. So he's earned 8.8k of damage and got 4 kills. So you can see the credits and EXP that were earned. Team score not so important, but you can see there's no 1477 EXP, doesn't earn you any mastery badges, and again, nothing goes towards your stats, so there's no shame in playing badly if you're not used to the game mode, but you can certainly try it out and get some experience and improve, of course, like you would in any sort of mode that you haven't played before. Let's have a quick look at the economics here. So he was playing with a premium account. He fired 27 shots and had some mission payout going as well, so missions do apply. You can see the costs there, same standard costs that they are in tier 10, so he's paying for his consumables, paying for his ammunition choices, and he was firing his premium ammunition, but he's made a profit, of course, with the income he got, and but just a very small profit. So don't expect that you're going to make a profit every time. Of course, this is tier 10. If your shots aren't landing, you can see he landed 26 out of his 27 shots. That's the key change here. Doesn't change the penetration, so the number of shots penetrated is still based on, you know, aiming at a spot where you can penetrate. But again, knowing the weak spots is going to help you. If your player has invested knowledge in where the weak spots are, then that's going to pay off with this mode. So definitely a game mode that looks interesting. I think it's worth trying. Getting people in queue is going to be the issue, and people won't be playing random battles. That's probably going to be the downside to it while it's on, but you can see it's only for 3 days. It's really 2.5 when you think about it. So have a crack at it in the next couple of days. I hope you enjoy it, and if you do have any feedback about it, please put that in the comments below. Thanks very much for watching, and if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up.